well, real quick.
Okay,
Got
make
this
it
response.
quick.
Real quick. So take the Republican Democrat part out of it for a second. And going back to talking to the kids at Carver today, they weren't worried about what side of the aisle anything was on. They saw something and they said, this is wrong. They saw somebody getting killed or somebody getting snatched or anything, and it was wrong regardless. So, and I hear what you're saying as far as manipulation. And we know that the manipulation happens in all aspects. I mean, going back to what you said about George Floyd, it seemed like it was deflection, because when you turn, and I watch Fox News, because you have to watch Fox News. And as painful as it is sometimes, Malcolm X said that you have to know the ways of your enemy before you can call them your enemy. So you have to watch and see how they actually think and what they're saying. And
don't forget what Malcolm said about white liberals, though.
And I hear
you remember that too. Make sure we quote. Go ahead.
But that's what I said. Take that part out of it, and I understand what your point is as far as the liberals and the liberal agenda. But these kids weren't talking about no liberal versus anything that I saw them today. They didn't mention politics at all once.
I think they were though. Because in a lot of schools they'll have a presidential election, and they'll say, who do you vote for, Kamala or Trump? I think the politics is embedded in the conversation. You don't think so?
Kamala Harris and Trump did not come up one time when I was talking to them today. That's what their names did not come up once.
So they love Trump.
No. I don't know what they felt. They felt that it was wrong for ICE to kill people and snatch them up the way that they did. That was their point. The other part didn't come into it. But the thing that would be happening on say Fox News is you would have a George Floyd, and then they would deflect and say, "Oh, what about Chicago?" But we're talking about George Floyd though. Is that something that you feel that is wrong? They say, well, you have so they're doing what you did for a different reason though. Because what they're saying is, don't focus on this right here. You know what I mean? Don't focus on police brutality. Don't focus on the police doing what they're doing. And you should be focusing on your own neighborhood and everything like that. And everything that's going on. And so it becomes a weaponization of true events and using our humanity and doing like this to it and throwing it away. And that's where that becomes a problem. If you turn on the TV and you see anybody being shot in the face, regardless of what they're white, black, Republican, Democrat, whatever their beliefs are, that should bother you. Do you know what I mean? Before we even and I understand your point about the liberals, and I understand all of that. But that's why I said take all of that away. And there is something that these young people who are so impressive to me today, and their humanity to say, we don't like what's going on in the world completely. And a younger generation that is desensitized to violence because they see it so much. We didn't have, I mentioned Rodney King when I was talking to them, and they were like, oh, that was that long time ago. And I was like, yeah, you see stuff all the time, right?